The FT series of stainless steel boilers do require an occasional cleaning of the heat exchanger. This is achieved by removing the blower, the intake elbow, the intake manifold, and the burner itself, and then soaking the heat exchanger in about 2 gallons of a biodegradable descaler. Ridlime is an acceptable brand. Tools needed: a microdriver with a small metric socket set, a Phillips screwdriver, some nylon brushes and rags, an 8-foot long 1 1/4 inch OD hose, and a 1-inch ID hose splicer, and some buckets. These can be purchased at your local home improvement retailer. This video will show you the simple method to get your heat exchanger soaked in descaler and then drained. First off though, you might be wondering if it's even necessary to get into the heat exchanger and do a full soak and clean. Well, your FT series is a high efficiency model and should be getting an internal inspection at least every 2 years for peak efficiencies, so you are servicing into the top of the heat exchanger already. Thus, having the descaler and the tube is sensible. Your boiler may also be giving you several hints that the burner or the heat exchanger are becoming blocked and need cleaning and servicing. Various error codes will assist in the diagnosis of what is happening inside that heat exchanger. Even the condensate trap is transparent, so you can see if the condensate is clear as it should be or milky, which is a sign that there is cross-contamination or poor combustion. This service must be done only by a qualified technician. Follow all shutdown and startup procedures as outlined in both the installation manual and the user's manual. Failure to do so could result in personal injury, property damage, or even death. So let's get started. Start by turning off the power and shutting off the gas supply. Open up the front panel of your FT. All models do open at the front in different ways. Disconnect the igniters and other items that connect to the top of the heat exchanger assembly. All models of the FT will vary in how to take the blower and its manifold off the top of the heat exchanger. With the smaller models, the blower needs to be removed first, then the air intake elbow, and then the manifold. For the 199, it is possible to take the entire blower and elbow assembly out in one piece. And for the 301-399 model, the blower comes off first, then the manifold comes out with the burner and igniters in one assembly. Whichever model FT you are servicing, you must keep in mind that there are several different lengths and sizes of the screws. They are not all the same, so you must take note of this and keep track of where these different screws were used. Use separate bins if you must. This will save a lot of frustration in the reassembly. Inspect the burner screen very carefully. Do not touch the ceramic fiber with anything other than air. Take a picture if necessary and decide if a full soak and cleaning is needed. To soak these stainless steel fire tube heat exchangers, a clear acrylic 1 1/4 inch OD hose and a 1-inch ID splicer tube must be hose clamped into place of the condensate trap. It's the same tube and tube splicer for all sizes. So remove the condensate trap and its hose and install the hose assembly. The 8-foot-long clear acrylic hose is not only a sight glass, but it's also a better drain, and you can squeeze the hose quite a bit and that will circulate the descaler around inside the heat exchanger while it is soaking. After at least 2 hours, dispose of the descaler as per the manufacturer's guidelines. The final step is to use a plastic brush to scrub the burner chamber and to use water to rinse the heat exchanger fully until you have obtained a nice clean heat exchanger again. Dispose of the rinse water properly. Once a clean heat exchanger is achieved, remove the tube and save it for your next FT series cleaning. Reassemble the condensate trap into its location and reassemble the top of the boiler using the exact reverse of its disassembly. Follow the startup procedures as shown in the installation and operation manual, and if you have any further questions, please call the manufacturer.